everyone else, Instagram growth struggles have you asking, why am I not growing on Instagram? Well, here's why your Instagram growth feels impossible. In this video, we're sharing Instagram tips on why Instagram growth is so hard and how you can overcome it. Whether it's Instagram algorithm problems or Instagram reach issues, it's harder to grow on Instagram than ever before, but you don't have to always feel stuck on IG growth. So, as always, let's get into it today as we help you step your gram up on the latest episode of the Social Roundtable. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. So glad that you guys are here to join us today on another incredible episode of the Social Roundtable, with, of course, as you can see, a special guest and my incredible, who's always here weekly, my co-host Megan. What's going on, Megan?
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Super excited to be back this week with another incredible guest and to dive right into this topic. So we will get going here because we have a lot of juicy stuff to reveal and really dive into. But I want to take a moment to say hello to Sam, our special guest here. She is absolutely incredible in the online space, helping social media managers make more money, grow and scale their businesses and presence online. And I mean, she has got some really, really cool content to dive into as well. If you go over check out her Instagram, she's got such a cool vibe and a very unique way to show up that you guys should definitely check out if you want some inspiration. So Sam, we take a second here to say hello to our audience.
I mean, an intro that I will remember forever. I mean, thank you so much. Hi, I'm so excited to be here, and thank you. Yeah, so my name is Sam. I run a social media agency as well as, yeah, like I said, helping other social media managers. So this topic around growth is something that I hear from both sides. So I'm super excited to get into it.
Awesome. Growth is always like a major topic about
Mhm.
Instagram. Whether you're doing it well or I think like maybe the majority of us, there might be a couple challenges, a couple obstacles, unfortunately. But that's what we're going to be here today to talk about, guys. We are so welcome once again to have you all joining us on another episode of the Social Roundtable. If this is your first time joining us, first of all, welcome to our returning guests and viewers. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We do see you guys in the live chat. Also, the live chat is open for you guys. If you want to share a question, a comment, please feel free and you could do that. We will be taking questions throughout our conversation. So go ahead and you can post it there. I already have a question for you guys that I've already posted in the live chat. I've actually posted this on YouTube and I'll release the results later today. But the question that I have in the poll right now is, how would you describe your current growth on Instagram? And I give you guys three options. If you want to go ahead and check it out, it is in the live chat, or you can respond in the comments if you are watching a replay. Once again, this is the Social Roundtable, our weekly live series that we host, myself and Megan, every week with a special guest to talk about what's important to you, social media, all of the other stuff in between in regards to digital marketing, and of course, Instagram growth. And that's our topic today. We're going to get right into it today, right now, with our special guest, Sam. Are you ladies ready for the convo?
Let's do it.
Ready, ready.
Awesome. Well, kind of as I alluded to, I asked my community on YouTube this week via a poll. The question was, how would you describe your current growth on Instagram? I know some of you guys are voting right now in the poll or in the comments, but my community that got this poll about 3 days early, they responded like this, and I got some surprising results. 8% of them said their growth they would describe as strong. 69% of them said average, and a whopping 23% said weak. I don't know which part I'm more surprised at, if almost 10 people, 10% said strong, or that many people said weak, which was 23%. So I'm going to go to you first, Sam, to ask my first question. Why are so many people on Instagram not getting followers? Why is Instagram growth so hard?
So I do feel like I compare Instagram growth to about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, because I just feel like it does feel really different now than it used to. I think the first thing, like the when I even thought of that question, the first thing I think of is people have to be more creative now. The B-roll with the text overlay, it's not that it doesn't work, but I mean, people are creating the most like dynamic series now. There is so much more content on Instagram. So there's a little bit more competition when it comes to, what's going to be on people's feeds. And I just think like the creativity itself and also the effort level is much different than it used to be. And I think that's where, especially, whether you're a business or just looking to grow in general, is like the capacity to create that kind of content might be also playing a role just as much as potentially an algorithm could.
That's a really good point in regards to the change of the formats now, like how much effort we're putting into it. And that really does play a part because things change so quickly on social media. We see how trends could be in 1 week and completely out of style the next week. That I think the same thing applies to our strategies with growth. And I think that's a really excellent observation. Megan, how about you in regards to this question? And I'll repeat myself again for those that are just tuning in. Why are so many people on Instagram not getting followers? Why is Instagram growth so hard?
I mean, pretty much what Sam said is there's more competition, right? There's more people have access to creating, more people want to create. And I think it's more accepted for people to do it now and encouraged for people to do it. It's whether you're a business, a personal brand, or you're just creating because it's fun and you want to share things with your friends. There's so many people on the platform. And we as consumers like to consume so much content, right? Our attention spans are shorter than ever, and we like that next dopamine hit. So, in order to really keep people's attention, we have to, like Sam said, find ways, expand that creativity, and really capture that attention and connect with people, which is super hard to do these days. Back to the fact that we have so much going on and so much content fed to us, to really get that attention and keep it. It's just next level.
Yeah, it is a whole nother level in regards to the attention span of where we are now. I felt like a few years ago they used to say our attention span is 7 seconds. I think that's like probably cut in half or maybe even a quarter now, the way that we are scrolling with most of our content. I want to throw in an observation that I have, and I think you kind of touched on it slightly a little bit, but I'm going to go in a different way, Megan, in regards to how much content that we are seeing. I actually want to put a little bit of the blame in regards to the algorithm that Instagram has, but not in a bad way. I know we're so used to talking about, the algorithm doesn't like me, it's not showing my content. I almost feel like the algorithm is doing what it's supposed to do now so effectively that we don't necessarily need to hit the follow button on people's content or profile because we know we're going to get it now. Such as if I found somebody that is into, I don't know, if they're like puppies, and they post a lot of puppy content. Well, if I like their content, like maybe 2 or 3 of their posts, I don't even have to follow anymore. I'm most likely going to get that person's content somehow suggested to me the next time I'm on Instagram. So I don't necessarily need to follow because the algorithm is actually doing what it's supposed to do. It's connecting me with the content that I want. Would you guys agree with that? I want to go to you first, Sam. Do you think the algorithm is actually working compared to what it used to do?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because even with the algorithm too, especially for my own sanity, I try to not put things on there as much as I can because, like, no, it's like the ambiguous thing, right? But no, I think that's totally true. And for the most part, I can't even really think off the top of my head the last time I mean, probably not that long ago, but I'm not following the same way that I used to either, simply because exactly what you said. I know it's gonna be fed to me. If I even like say the word puppy, I'll get that on my phone. It's much more generated to what I want anyway. So like that follow behavior is also different too.
Yeah. How about you, Megan? Would you agree as well? And feel free if you have a follow-up question for the audience also.
Definitely 100%. I mean, I don't consume content or engage the same way that I used to. So sometimes I think I've said this few times here on the show is I forget to like people's things. I want to support them, but because I'm just like scrolling on to the next, I'm sometimes like, oh no, I didn't like that person's, piece of content, but I actually did like it, just didn't double tap on it. So I have to scroll back. So I think that my behavior definitely has changed, basically like the same you were saying there, Hessen, of why the algorithm is just so smart, and we don't have to follow as much. We don't have to work as hard to really get that next dopamine hit. And I'm curious from everybody in the audience, because I've experienced this, give us either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Have you ever seen somebody pop up in your feed multiple times only to find out, like, oh my gosh, I'm not even following this person, but you thought you were because you just love their content so much? Because I definitely have.
Yeah, a big thumbs up on that one because that happens to me all the time. Whether it's my business account or my personal account, I've come across certain people and we're talking in the DMs, and then I look back and I'm like, oh, wait a second, I'm not even following you. Let me correct that mistake right now. Yeah, so go ahead, guys. Whether you're watching the replay or you're watching us live, go ahead and put in your answer to that question. Have you forgotten, that you had to go back and follow somebody you thought you were following them prior? Put a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the chat or in the comments. Um, we're gonna go over to our next question, but before we do, I would like to remind you guys once again, this is the Social Roundtable, and you're watching us here on YouTube. You're watching us either on my channel or Megan's channel. But no matter what channel that you are actually on, you can actually hit the subscribe button and join our community. And make sure to like this video as well, because it's going to help us in this algorithm. Because if you hit the like button, just as it does on Instagram, the algorithm on YouTube is also going to help share and spread the content to others that might not be following us just yet. We might as well take advantage of this algorithm, right? That might be a little pro tip that we're going to sneak in today, not just for YouTube. It applies on Instagram as well. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to our respective channels, and also if you want to connect with us on Instagram or on the YouTube channel also, and I mean all of us, all three of us, I have all of the links in the description right now, including the website link for Sam. So you can go ahead and check out all of her offerings and services and get to know her a little bit well also, because she's an incredible content creator, as Megan said at the top of this video, and we'd like for you guys to get to know her as well. So go ahead and check out all the links in the description. We're going to move over to our next question. I'm going to go back to you first again, Sam, in regard to our last question. It's something that is based on something that I truly believe in. I believe a healthy Instagram account is one that is continuously growing. Now, it doesn't need to grow fast. I'm not saying it has to go viral. You don't need to be growing 500 followers a day, if that's even possible. But not all Beyonce. That's perfectly fine. You could grow 1 or 2 followers at a day. That's great. But I think a healthy Instagram account is one that continues to grow. So, with that being said, if you don't mind, please share one aspect of your own current Instagram growth strategy that is currently working.
Okay, I'm trying to simplify my answer as much as possible because I'm just coming out of a launch. So right now, I quite literally did the opposite
Mm,
of growth. As I'm sure most of us know with launches is like it's just so much selling content. And so I'm literally like in this new fresh like era of like yay, like fun growth content I get to lean into again. So it's more so my growth strategy is going to be like up and coming. But I do think even to that point is like knowing when to shift into growth mode versus launching or when you are doing certain things. I think being strategic about your account is the way to be able to keep it growing. Like I said, if I continued right now, like if I rolled right into another launch, like my account would continue to probably not grow. So I think just really leveraging the different styles of content too is a great way to consistently keep your account growing, because I agree, like it doesn't really have to be any surmountable number. It's not really about 10,000 followers. It's also just like getting new eyes on your page in any way that looks.
definitely agree. Getting new eyes on your page, which is easier said than done nowadays.
Right.
I mean, it is it's a real struggle bus just to get somebody to spend a couple seconds on our account, much less even hit the follow button. But there are like certain strategies and tips that we are sharing, and it's interesting that I like the fact that you mentioned and you explained what a launch phase is, because some people are not completely aware of what that is, because there are different phases.
Mhm.
Now, in comparable to launch phase, there's also the growth phase where you might be completely focused on only growth, and there's certain strategies that you might apply then that you might not do on a regular day when you're not in those phases. Megan, how about yourself in regards to this question? I'll ask it once again for those that are just now joining. The question is, what is one aspect of your own current Instagram growth strategy that is currently working?
All right, yeah. So there's tons of little things I want to share here, but I'm choosing just one, and it might actually be a surprise because we know, and even Instagram themselves. So I've done a few calls with Instagram, which, by the way, when people say that, like, it's really not that like big of a deal, right? They call a lot of creators, okay? So
They didn't call
um,
me yet.
oh, they will. They will. And it's like their research team. It's really, yeah. But anyway, so I was doing a call with them and they were saying, like, hey, reels are still the way to grow. Everything that they show on their end, it really proves that reels are the thing to grow. However, myself and many creators that I've spoken with are actually finding that carousels are having dramatic reach right now and helping them grow a lot, and not only just grow and get that reach, but the people who choose to follow from a carousel, because they're not as popular as reels, you're a little bit more memorable. You stand out a little bit more. And so my theory is that those followers are going to be just a little bit closer in your community. They're going to care about your content just a little bit more because they got something different, something that really did capture their attention. They probably saved it or shared it, to help expand that reach more and go deeper with you. People are more likely to leave the comment or refer back to it just because of the way the format is. So you become a little bit more top of mind. And I think that you speed up the depth of your connection with people. So personally, carousels are working really well for me right now. And I have plans to continue to use them moving forward in different ways and testing it out, right? I'm always testing different styles and formats of the carousel. And so many different things are working great right now.
Okay, I have to ask with the carousels because that's something I'm trying to like lean into as well. Even though I've tried to resist, but now it's time. Is I think the biggest like fear, or when I see carousels, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a work of art. Like, how am I? Is how are you finding a balance in creating the really really in depth, really intricate styles and designs with carousels while also not completely timing yourself out with capacity with creating one
Yeah.
carousel.
Well, this is a great question. And I don't know if I'm the best person to ask because I actually do kind of go in a rabbit hole when I start to create. I'm like, oh, I will say I waste time. It does not need to take me as long as it does. And they're not even that intricate. But that being said, I'll say that I've seen a lot of people create carousels with the photos and the text on them, all created like right within the app. Um, and they're working really well for other people. Myself, it didn't work too well. I did a couple, and I don't know if maybe it's because my normal content doesn't look like that, and it just wasn't a hit with my audience. But some people are really doing great with that. Another thing I've been doing that has been working really well and saved me a lot of time is I've been like using my notes app on my phone and writing out the text on the carousel, screenshotting it. And not only is that saving me time, but I think it's like a subliminal thing for people who are consuming content. It kind of feels personal, like they're in your notes section of your phone. So they really stop and consume that content. So that's kind of a time saver and helping.
I love that.
That's a really good point. I've seen a lot of those, and it's like it's so familiar, it's relative, so easy to connect with. It really works out well. I like to jump in here. Maybe this might help you as well, Sam, because I feel the same exact way that Megan described in regards to carousels. I've noticed this going on for a long time, and like you, Sam, I was kind of hesitant at first because I loved them before, but it was like I really want to keep the mix, carousels, reels, and I decided recently I'm just going to focus on carousels for this month. And I said, depending on how it goes, I might continue that the next month, and at least until, or I should say, up most until the end of the year. It really depends on how they're performing. So far, okay, they're doing well. Every now and again, I do get that uptick one. It's like, oh wow, this one did really well. But what I like to do is I create templates. So they're pretty much the same, except for the photo, which is the thing that really captures people's eyes. And as Megan kind of described, a lot of people are using the photos. It could be like an everyday photo. Like my dog is laying down right here on the floor. I could just take a photo of him and then use it in like 10 of the slides in the background. But the content, obviously, the text is different. And that's where the value really comes in. So the photo I'm using to capture the person's attention, like, why is this dog laying down? But then my words, what I'm describing, how I'm getting them to engage, whether it's a CTA at the end of the call, of the end of the carousel, maybe sometimes even in the middle. Um, I've been exploring different ways to work with carousels, and it's been really fun. But yeah, Megan, I think that's a really great one right now that they seem to be the hot thing right now because everybody's so focused on reels. You know, every time most people talk about advice on Instagram, majority of the time it's about reels. And I think that single images, although I don't do single images, but I feel like single images and carousels really get left behind. And it's unfortunate because there are other content formats that do very well on Instagram.
Yeah, real quick before we move on to, because now that we're talking about saving time, and if you haven't created a carousel for a while, Sam, something that I have recently found and I tested out is instead of creating even like the screenshot of the Notes app and putting it into my like Adobe Express template, which I do still sometimes too, but I did create a couple carousels like this. You can actually go in and add the photo, and then now Instagram's edit, like they're features within creating a post are so much more expansive. You can like add overlays and add photos to a blank photo right within the app. So like I have a blank black piece of like picture with my handle at the bottom, and I just repeated that like 5 times for 5 slides and added overlays. So you can do it that way too.
I love that. I think that's even, especially what you said earlier, Megan, with the the regular Instagram text where I see people doing carousels, they're doing so well. I have the same. Like, I'm really interested to experiment with it, but like I was like, that's so far from the way my typical content is. Would that work? And I think it's just more so like my shiny object syndrome. I'd love to be able to come up with one template that I could be known for, because I think being recognizable is so important too.
Yeah, very good point.
Yes. Brand your carousel to the point where there's a few people that I know that have done that. I don't even have to see their profile photo. As soon as the image comes on the screen, I know immediately whose own it is. And I'm sure the both of you can name a few people that do that as well. They're really great at it. But that's a great one to add to the list, Megan. Thank you so much for that. So guys, pay a little bit more attention to carousels. They are pretty popular right now in regards to what they're capable of doing, bringing in not just your current followers in regards to the conversation, but the new followers as well. The people that aren't following you yet, they are able to see your carousels just as much as reels. I think they're borderline. Reels might be a little bit higher up, but I think carousels is catching up in regards to reaching non-followers. And as you said, you build a deeper relationship with carousels. I'm gonna drop in here with my answer in regards to this for those that are watching or just jumped in. The question is, what is one aspect of your current Instagram growth strategy that is working? And I would like to share collaborations. I speak about this all the time. Collaborations. I mean, hey, we're doing one right now. Once again, and I'll prove this to you. I'll prove it right now live. If you guys are not following Megan or Sam or not subscribed to their YouTube channel, go ahead and tap the link in the bottom of this page. And that is a perfect example of how you can actually increase growth of a community by collaborating. Because my audience that are on my channel right now watching this are being introduced to Sam. They're familiar with Megan because we go live weekly on the Social Roundtable, but maybe there's a few brand new followers of mine that are just now joining. So they're now introduced to Sam and Megan, and we do this weekly. Collaborations are a great way to get one person, or to say to introduce one person to your community. You're like giving a shout out. You know, like right now, Megan and I host this weekly, and we are shouting out. You guys need to follow Sam. She does great content. Go ahead and follow her and tap the link in the bottom and go to her Instagram page. It's a shout out. It's a recommendation. And if you guys have to us already as content creators that you follow, I think that even goes stronger for the recommendation for the person that's involved, the collaborator. So you could do collaborations on Instagram in various ways. We've seen you can do collabs with Instagram Reels, as we were just talking about with carousels. You could do collaborations with both of those. You could go on IG Live if you'd like and collaborate. I think it's up to 4 people at one time. You could do that. And there's another one, broadcast channels. I know people are they kind of, if you're broadcast channels, you could actually have a collaborative broadcast channel. Myself and Megan do this every week where we announce who's on our show. We did it just today where we announced Sam is joining us on the show today and we post a link. There's so many ways that you can collaborate on Instagram and they want you to, because it's just getting the content out there to a brand new audience. And if that audience receives a person well, they could generally just quickly follow because you've given them, as somebody that they trust, a shout out to follow them. So I love collaborations, as I think it's quite evident we're doing it right now.
Yes. Yeah. And not only is it great for growth, but it's really great for, I think, well, so many things, but one, really great because it brings fun back into the content creation. When you can, work with other people, that mastermind really comes together and ideas spark, and it kind of pulls you out of your bubble there. And two, I think it's really good for like mental health. I mean, it can be very lonely being a content creator. For being so connected with so many people, it actually can be hard. It can feel like you're the only one that's struggling, or you're the only one that is experiencing X right now. But in reality, when you connect with others and build that relationship, it can help so many different parts of your life.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
just
even
feel like
consider that part.
uh,
Sorry, go
I
ahead, Sam.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I completely agree with even like the fun element too is when I first started my page, I felt like with collaborations, I was so focused on trying to be productive with the other person. Like, what do they offer? What do I offer? Obviously, this is more so from a business
Mhm.
perspective. Like, how can we be productive and provide value? But honestly, the collaborations that have done the best for me now are the ones I did a reel with my brand photographer on like which Instagram fonts we like best. Like just honestly, like taking the productivity and the value out of it and like just having that kind of collaboration post where the people who trust Keisha now see that she trusts me,
Mhm.
and vice versa. And it's like I said, we're more stingy with who we follow. So if someone we trust another person, it's like an easier point of entry there.
Yeah, we are definitely stingy with who we are following. So that's a really
Yeah.
great valid point in regards to growing in that manner. So authentic, and it's trusted already. Awesome, awesome list, guys. I think we just gave you guys 3 different ways that you can immediately start putting into your content strategy today and start increasing your growth. It doesn't have to be fast. We're not promising you that you're going to go viral with this information, but it's going to help jump kick, or I should say jumpstart your growth on Instagram in a way that probably you were having challenges before. We know that it's hard. It's a struggle on Instagram to grow your following, but with some of these strategies and tips that we shared here today, we think that you could take them and step your gram up in the best way possible and start growing so that you could have a healthy Instagram account on the regular. Uh, well, we that's our main conversation, but as Sam knows, we like to have fun here on the Social Roundtable. We have a game that we will play with our guests as well as you guys in the audience. So if you stay tuned, Megan is going to uh, lead the game with us. But before she does, I just want to remind you guys once again, if you are not subscribed or following to our Instagram or YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen, hit the like button, and then check out the links after this video done so that you can join us on Instagram and YouTube's and check out some of our other content. All right, I'm done with my spiel. I'm done. Megan, you can take it away and lead us with the game that you have for us today.
All right. All right. So, simple game of Would You Rather. Going to name off 2 options and then go around here in the room which one you would rather. And everyone in the audience, please play along. We'd love to know your answer as well. First one, would you rather A, only be able to be fed the old Instagram algorithm? So, have to live by the old Instagram algorithm. Or B, only be able to use the original Instagram filters? Sam, what would you say?
Original is the ones that were in the feed, right? Or are you talking about like the story ones?
Oh, good question. The feed, so like the Valencia, and like the old ones.
You know, I feel like that's gonna be like very Gen Z pretty soon. So I'm gonna pick those because I feel like I might, it might be like an edgy thing that'll come back around.
I love it. Let's start it.
I love
Heston, what would you say?
This is would you rather, right? Which one I would rather?
Yep.
It is not those filters. Those, to me, they had a time and a place, and it is not. I hope it is not coming back. So I'll try and do my best with the old Instagram algorithm.
Yes, especially now, you're so experienced on Instagram. You probably know who you would want to search and actually consume their content. I know it's a hard question. They don't really have much to do with one another either, besides just being old. But I think I would rather experience the old algorithm. Yeah, it's just it worked, and like I just said with Heston's, I can search the people I want to consume content from, but. The old filters, yeah, they were something. They were.
I can picture them, but I can't
Yeah, I feel like I have like my very first feed. It just pops into my brain. Like my first few posts on my other page was just like my running shoes and like food that I ate in a sunset, and they were awful. They had the border too,
Collages.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Let us know in the comments if you remember that, if you were using Instagram at that time. Second question here. Would you rather be tagged in an unflattering photo of yourself, and it has to be on your profile page? Okay, so it's not just in your tag, like it's there. Or would you rather be secretly stalking somebody and accidentally like an old photo of theirs? Sam, what would you choose?
We always see social media as a highlight reel. If someone sees me looking not so fresh, it'll just, it'll humanize me. We'll go there.
Awesome. I love it. It's so true. Heston, what would you say?
What was the second choice?
Accidentally be like, so you're secretly stalking somebody and you accidentally liked one of their old photos. So they find out you've been stalking them.
I'm gonna go with that one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, it happens already. So
you're like, I experienced this.
Yeah, it's another Monday.
That is so fun. Everyone, just keep your eyes out for that notification. Heston's been stalking.
They're like, Social Varsity stalking from like 2022. This photo liked it. What is he doing?
Yes. Oh gosh, I love that. That's so funny. Interesting. Opposite there. I would say unflattering picture as well. Just is what it is. There's all kinds of weird angles of me, and humanize me.
I think that one happens anyways. Where I'm like, oh well,
there it is. Yes. Same. It's like when you like take pictures with your friends and they always choose the one that is like that's the worst one. Like why?
Or I'm like, did you? I know we're always like, I know we're looking at ourselves, but did you even see what I was doing in that photo?
Yeah. Did you see I was picking my nose? Like, come on.
Well, now we have AI, so those days should be long behind us, as well as those old filters that you mentioned. So hopefully we don't have to worry about those type of photos anymore, because now we can just quickly hit a button and we all look, I think it's Sony or Samsung has that phone where you can hit a button and it chooses the best out of all the photos that you've taken and it makes it in one photo. Have you heard of that? It's a pretty cool feature. But anyways, I'm going off tangent. Oh man. Well, thank you so much for those questions, Megan. That was fun. Some good questions, good fun there. And I think that's all we have here for today in our episode of the Social Roundtable. Guys, today was a great conversation that we had with Megan and, of course, our special guest, Sam, to discuss everything about here's why your Instagram growth feels impossible. We shared 3 different ways that you guys could actually start utilizing today, strategies and tips that you can start utilizing today and get that growth kick start again. We need it to start growing again. Whether it's 1 follower a day, 100 followers a day. If you think you're Beyonce and you can do 100,000 followers a day, hey, by all means. But I think some of the strategies that we shared here today is going to help you get there with your Instagram account. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us once again. Last time it was on IG Live. This time it was on YouTube. And I'm hoping that you would be able to join us once more again. I would love to give you an opportunity to share what it is that you're up to and where can the people find you.
Yeah, well, of course, thank you so much for having me. This is always so fun, and I love the way you guys have this. It's so cool. I'm on Instagram. As far as things that are going on, I have a social media manager community called The Loop. So for all social media managers, that's a great place for people to come together and connect there. And then I also just launched my Scale School program, which is also for social media managers who are looking to really scale their businesses. And, through the Instagram growth or not, you can, make more money, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
How about you, Megan? Where can people find you and what are you up to?
Yes, come hang out over on Instagram with me. And every week, Heston and I are here with another episode of the Social Roundtable. So we love to have you here live or on the replay to catch up as well.
Absolutely. Live or catching the replay. We definitely appreciate your presence here on the Social Roundtable. Thank you once again for joining us on this episode. If you're looking to find myself, I am also on Instagram. Currently, right now, I am on Manychat. I'm sorry, I am on Skool with my own Manychat Skool. If you're interested to learn more about DM automation and chat marketing, that's where you can find me. I believe I have the link also in the description, so you can find that also. But other than that, the next time you'll see myself and Megan will be next week with a brand new guest and a brand new topic that we are sure that you are going to love. So with that being said, thank you once again, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you, Sam, for joining us.
All right. Thank you.
Later, everybody.